Welcome. We're glad that you have decided to be an ABN approved provider of CE or that you're considering this. This will be an overview of the continuing education rules for ABN approved providers of CE. I am Carolyn Morgan. I am the nurse consultant for practice and continuing education for the board. This is a series of 3 programs. The first one will be, what is continuing education? And then in session 2, we will answer the question that I'm asked frequently, what am I responsible for as a program director or contact person for an approved provider of CE? And then session 3 will answer the question again that I get frequently, what's the big deal about the tricorder and data management? So let's start with what is continuing education. Our objectives for this session will be that at the end of it, you will be able to discuss the continuing education rules and what is continuing education related to acceptable content, contact hours, and approved providers. You will be able to locate the continuing education rules on the ABN website so that you can read them for yourself. Now, some of you are thinking, why in the world do we need to review the rules? Just tell me what to do. Well, the rules provide our guidance and direction of the standards that the board set forth, that you are then responsible for as the contact person or program director of the continuing education unit. And especially if you are a program director and you are a nurse, because the rules in the conduct and accountability in another section, Chapter 6 of the Administrative Code, tells us that the registered nurse and licensed practical nurse shall have knowledge and understanding of the laws and rules regulating nursing. And of course, the CE rules is one section of this. Also, if you're a nurse, don't want to scare you, but it is a fact that a program director who's an RN or an LPN and fails to comply with the requirements in the rules shall be subject to disciplinary action by the board. So I think you will all agree it's very important for us to know what those are. Now, who can be a board-approved continuing education provider? It can be an individual, partnership, an association, organization, educational institution, government agency, licensed health care, including hospitals, nursing homes, clinics, home health, etc., that offer continuing education for nurses that meet board criteria approval. Board-approved continuing education providers have an assigned ABNP number that distinguishes them from all other providers. The number has the letters A, B, and P in caps, and then 4 numerical numbers. And board-approved providers meet the standards of the Chapter 610-X-10 of the ABN Administrative Code that we're going to be talking about during these 3 sessions. Approved providers electronically transmit contact hours using a tricorder very similar to the credit card readers. The important thing for you as an approved provider is that nurses know that the contact hours from your programs or classes are acceptable for license renewal. Approved providers approve courses offered under their provider number. This is important because the ABN approves providers and providers approve the courses. And when you approve a course, you determine if the content meets ABN standards. You also determine the number of contact hours approved for each course in accordance with the rules. Where are the rules? They're on our website. Go to www.abn.alabama.gov. Look on the title bar. Click on Laws, then click on Administrative Code. Then you will see all the chapters of the Administrative Code there on the left. You will see the chapters with their titles over on the right. So come back over to the left side, and for CE rules, click on Chapter 610-X-10. It will then tell you in the center to download the file in PDF. You do that, and then you have a copy of the rules that you can then scroll down and look at all the parts that we're going to talk about today and the parts that we don't talk about. Let's start with what is continuing education. By the definition in the rule, it is planned, organized learning experiences designed to augment the knowledge, skill, and attitudes for the enhancement of the practice of nursing to the end of improving health care to the public. So one of the first questions you're going to ask when somebody wants to put a program together is, does it enhance the practice of nursing? Why is continuing education mandatory for nurses' license renewal? Because the legislature in the Nurse Practice Act determined that. Back in 1991, it said that the board would adopt a continuing education program, and after that, continuing education requirements would be a prerequisite for license renewal. What is acceptable content for continuing education? Includes a variety of things, including clinical technology, procedures, and nursing implications, specialty areas of nursing practices related to the care of the patient, included but not limited to counseling, patient teaching, infection control, and safety factors. It includes administration, management, and supervision and healthcare delivery. It includes the social, legal, and ethical aspects of nursing, nursing education, nursing research, theory, and practice issues, quality improvement in management, accrediting standards, and processes. Academic credit that's earned from liberal arts, sciences, business, and general education courses after initial licensure can also be counted by the nurses for their CE. The CE also, a topic that is acceptable is professional conduct. What is unacceptable content? Courses that are not directly applicable to nursing practice are not acceptable for continuing education credit, and you as the provider many times have to make that choice. Unacceptable courses and classes may include, but are not limited to, the courses taken for self-improvement, such as weight loss, self-awareness, self-therapy, changes in attitude, and yoga. The American Heart Association and American Red Cross classes designed for lay people. Courses taken for personal economic gain, such as investment or retirement planning. Orientation programs that have specific activities designed to familiarize employees with the policies and procedures of the institution that are specific to job duties or general orientation in service hours. What is a contact hour? Lots of different organizations use different units of measure. The Alabama Board of Nursing uses the contact hour of 50 minutes, and you will notice that I have highlighted in red the word shall. Shall within the rules means it is mandatory, so there's not an option. You must calculate with one contact hour equals 50 minutes. Contact hours are not the same as CEUs. One contact hour equals 0.1/10 of a CEU. And the board may accept contact hours earned from a different continuing education provider that has different units of measurement without conversion. And I say that so if you're at a program and some of the nurses come to you knowing that you are an approved provider and say, I took a program approved by the Alabama Board of Social Work. They offered me 6 CEUs. Can I use those? Yes, they can, but they cannot convert them to contact hours. Approved providers electronically transmit course attendance and contact hours by participants. In fact, it's mandatory that you do that, and nurses face disciplinary action if they were to enter courses that you provided. You agree also to maintain the records for 4 years. Just a couple of communication reminders as we go through. A course cannot be repeated by nurses for contact hours within an earning period. So I need your help. If a course is a national course such as BLS or ACLS, please indicate if it's an initial course or renewal course. If the courses are different, but they have a similar title or maybe at the present time have the same title, please indicate differences in the title. For example, if the original title was Making the Hospice Decision and you repeat it every year, consider changing it to Making the Hospice Decision in 08, and then for the one in 09, Making the Hospice Decision Update in 09. That would be most helpful to us and eliminate some phone calls that we make to you during license renewal. There are a lot of acceptable CE activities. All 24 hours of required CE can be obtained from the same venues. It can be from a workshop, a seminar, a classroom. You can do webcast. You can do internet, online classes if you want to, intranet, home study courses. They can also get credit for continuing education that's in journals and on podcast. Nurses can develop an oral presentation of a paper before a professional lay group on a subject that explores new or current areas of nursing theory or practice. However, to get CE for this, it has to be approved by board-approved providers. And if this comes up, you can call us for some additional direction. Nurses can also get credit for authoring or contributing to an article, a book, or a publication, designing a research study. Again, if it's approved by our board-approved provider. We want to be sure that you're signed up for the CE provider email list. This is how you get additional information that we need to send you, particularly around license renewal, when transmission deadlines are in place, and when we have new rules. First of all, go again to our website, www.alabama.gov. Click on the Continuing Education title bar. Then click on Approved ABN CE Providers. And when you click on that, you will get another menu under that. You will need to click on Subscribe or Unsubscribe to the CE email listserv. You click on that, it brings up the screen where you will type in your name and your email. And if any time that you hit Submit, if at any time you wish to unsubscribe, you can come back in the same way and go to the Unsubscribe button. This is extremely important, and we will probably talk about it in all 3 sessions. Additional rules will be covered in Session 2. But if you have any questions about what we've talked about so far or any time during the sessions, do review the rules on the website or email me at carolyn.morgan@abn.state.al.us. Look forward to being with you in Session 2.